This is Sean with Gate City Foundation Drainage. We are back on this job, and the French drain has been working so well on this job that the customer wants more. So let's take a look. So we put in this French drain maybe a couple months ago, and the customer said it's been working so astonishingly well that it made the rest of the yard up here just like obviously really bad. And so if you remember, we had stopped it here basically because that's where the budget allowed it to go, but now the homeowner's got the budget to take it to the rest of the way here. So we're going to take it another 20 feet, which there's our stick of perforated right there. So we're going to take the perforated another 20 feet, just one leg of it, and then just do some gravel to the rocks here. Now, what's going on in the back here is the ice storm that we recently got took out 2 of these trees. And so the homeowner, I guess they have a friend who cuts trees, so he just took them all out. And my customer here has been talking to this neighbor, well, not talking to her, but leaving notes and trying to call and can't get a hold of them. So they definitely know it's a problem back here, and they're avoiding the homeowner. So there's our berm that we built up. That was working pretty good. But what I'm going to do here, since these trees came out, is I'm going to try to dig a little trench here. And on the other side of this fence right here, there's another trench, a swale that goes out to the road. So if we can just get the water to go that way, it doesn't bother anybody. So that's what we're here doing today. So this customer has been astonished by how well that French drain is working right there, and they want more. I have mentioned that this machine here, the tracks pull in, but I'm not sure that I've ever actually shown you all. So what you do is you lift it up off the ground, and then it's got a lever under there, and the tracks will pull in, and you can see the blade right there. I've already pulled the little wings off there to make it a little bit narrower. So that machine can really get into some tight places with those tracks pulling in like that. So I'm just going to dig this out and pretty much do the exact same thing we did before, but this time instead of going 30 inches here, we're only going to be doing 24 inches. So again, they're trying to save money here. This area wasn't as bad, and so there's so much water coming through here, I want to keep these vents here, so I'm going to put a sanitary tee right there and keep that clean out. So I'll get some more experience with the slew function on this thing today. And we've got the concrete buggy now, so don't have to worry about boards and barrows today. They want to take the dirt that comes out and they want to spread it along the fence here and around in this low area. And so I gave them a price for us spreading the dirt and a price for them spreading the dirt, and they want to do them spread the dirt. So we're going to try to make some strategic piles here for them. And the husband said he'll rake it and barrow it around to his liking. So that saves him some money.
Yep, my little buddy unsubscribed you, bub, because we working us too hard. We ain't got time to go fishing, he says. Papa got the boat fixed and can't go because Sean working too hard. I said, well, baby, we got to eat. He said, I'm not hungry right now, Papa. I said, what you going to be? Come on. Yep.
Sweet. What'd he say?
He said, well, I think about it. I said, well, you better think hard because me working for Sean is what's buying these four-wheelers and all this stuff you want.
Sweet. I like how you're a quick draw with that thing. Okay. We're just about ready to get this covered up, but I wanted to show you really quickly. We got this new leg of French drain here of perforated pipe into a sanitary tee. Now there's so much water coming out of this thing that I wanted to preserve this vent right here. So we kept this clean out here when we could have just put a coupler there. So that's going to still vent and work for getting that water out of here. And we just reused the old clean out / vent that we had there before. And so again, cost was a concern on this, so we talked about taking the pipe all the way, and she said she just wanted about another 20 foot, another stick, and I had another 4 feet nipple of perforated pipe that we threw on there for her. And then this section back here, we just dug it down maybe about 3 or 4 or 5 inches. So we're just going to put the gravel up to this rock border here. And so that should be a pretty good barrier for them. So let's get this thing covered up. If you remember, on the last video for this project, we built this berm and it was working, but instead of channeling the water behind the berm, we decided to try to channel the water in front of the berm. The recent ice storm took out a couple of these trees and the stumps were left behind, so I had the excavator there, so I dug them out for her and hauled them off. We just found a little mole.
He's fucked up.
He looks like he's pretty cold. He's shivering. He looks like he's cold.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him up some more.
Yep. We are finished with this job, so let's take a look. The dirt that came out of the French drain, we placed in strategic piles. So they wanted a pile over here. They're gonna fill in along the fence right here where it's been washing away. And then they wanted another pile right here. They're gonna try to spread this all out in this whole area. So we left them with a couple bales of straw and a little bit of seed as well, so they'll be good to go there. And they're going to fill all this in this low area right here. We got the French drain extended, and so we got a bunch of gravel in the back right there. So the French drain actually ends right here, but they just wanted gravel here to save some money. Back here, we ripped out those stumps for them, and I just kind of dug a little channel here. Now this is just kind of extra, so I just did this for them. They are going to be in here redoing everything, so they would go with just a quick and dirty channel right here. So they were really happy to get rid of the stumps and not have a bunch of sawdust from the grinding. I did break a couple of fence rails right there, trying to get that bigger stump out, but a couple fence rails are pretty cheap, so they weren't worried about that. And all this, they're going to redo it all, so she said that she was super happy that we got the trench at least started. So we'll have to come back over here in the rain and see what's going on with this area. And again, she's tried talking to the neighbor, and it's been no luck. I am back out here. It's been probably about 6 hours since it stopped raining, and I wanted to check on this. So that's our French drain that we put in. Let's take a look at the backyard. Alright, it looks like this trench is working pretty well for carrying that water away. And it's flowing down to the street right there. This was definitely an interesting project and a challenge to get that backyard fixed up. But that French drain we put in really solved the problem from the one neighbor off to the left. And then we tried doing that berm to try to direct the water into that drainage swale on the back side of my customer's property, but that didn't really work too well. And so once those trees fell in the ice storm, we pretty much just said, okay, let's try channeling it through the customer's yard and into that swale. So that's working really well. And I've talked to the customer since we had a really big rain, and she said everything's working really well, and they're going to be, since spring's about to hit, they're going to be doing some landscaping and fixing up the yard. So I'm really excited about that.